Hello, today we're going to be looking at a 22-year-old who's at basic training. He reported muscle soreness, low urine output, and dark colored urine. So we're going to be talking about how all those things are because of the dysfunction of your kidneys. So when the muscles work too hard, especially without enough rest or hydration, they can get really damaged, and it releases a bunch of stuff into your bloodstream, such as myoglobin, which is a protein that keeps oxygen within your muscles. So once it gets into your blood, it goes straight to your kidneys, which your kidneys are your body's filters. When myoglobin goes through your kidneys, it gets too sticky, and so when there's a big amount of myoglobin because of the muscles working hard, it clogs those tiny filters in your kidneys, and specifically parts called the glomerulus and the tubules, basically causing traffic congestion. So the kidneys can't do their job properly if the filters are not working, because your kidney is your body's filter. And so we call this acute kidney injury, or AKI. Basically, what the doctor saw on his lab results was that CK was over 10,000, which stands for creatine kinase. It's an enzyme that lives inside your muscle cells, and when they're damaged, CK leaks out into the blood, and a number over 10,000 is way too big to be in your bloodstream. So basically means your muscles are damaged. Hyperkalemia, which means high potassium, means you have a lot of potassium, which is good and bad because it is important for your heart and for your muscles to be strong. But when there's too much potassium, the kidneys get overwhelmed with the amount of potassium. It can really be dangerous for your heart. Then elevated creatinine, which it's a waste product that your muscles make, and the kidneys once again filter out, and when they're high, it's a clear sign that your kidneys aren't filtering waste properly. And the urinalysis, Heme positive if you see in the picture, RBC negative as well. Heme positive means that there's something in urine that looks like blood, but it's not, because RBC is negative, means there are no red blood cells, which is why it gives your urine that dark color. So the nephron, what is a nephron? It is the kidney's tiny filters that we're talking about that gets clogged by myoglobin. So once it gets clogged in the tubules, it just can't do what it's supposed to do, which is reabsorb the good stuff and get rid of the bad stuff. So when they're damaged, they can't do their job, and everything gets messed up. So let's talk about treatments. How can we feel better? So lots of IV fluids and lots of medicines to help balance your blood. So IV is basically water, if you will, being injected into you, and it basically helps clear out and wash out all the myoglobin and other harmful substances that are in your kidneys. And then for medicines to balance your blood, such as the high potassium levels that we talked about, the hyperkalemia, sodium bicarbonate, which is essentially baking soda that's all in those baked goods that you like, is basically what will help balance your blood. Now, how to prevent the situation? How do we even not get into this situation? You're gonna make sure you're hydrated, drink lots of water, plenty of water, but also don't overdo your workouts. Don't overdo your workouts. Once your body feels like it's tired, listen to it, take a break, and get back to it, but at a slower pace. So gradual training and proper rest are very important to working out safely without damaging your muscles. So that's the story of rhabdomyolysis, or rhabdo, if you don't want to pronounce the whole thing, and how it can affect your kidneys and how you function, being able to play in sports and do all those fun things. It's important that you take care of your muscles first and stay hydrated. Thanks for listening.